It's showtime.
Hey guys, Django Fett here, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more, and this is a review for Captain Marvel. So this is the last movie to come out before Avengers Endgame. This is actually a month before Avengers Endgame. And I honestly think it's a little too soon to have this movie, but here it is, nonetheless. So this movie stars Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, and also stars Ben Mendelsohn as the villain, the Skrull, and it also stars Jude Law as a Kree operative who also trains Captain Marvel or Marvel in Brie Larson. So let's first start off with the good stuff because I think there's a lot of divisive stuff that I want to get to after I give my score. So let's just get off with the good stuff first. So first off, I really like Samuel Jackson. He was the true star of this whole movie, and it was centered around the 90s. So this is a very young Samuel Jackson, and the digital de-aging that they did for his face was just fantastic. They also did it with Coulson too, but I think it was really noticeable. And another star that no one would have ever seen is Goose the cat. I'm a big fan of cats. I'm a big cat lover, and I really like Goose. He was awesome. I love cats, so I have a soft spot for them, and I like the action and the Kree Skrull parts. I thought that was pretty cool, especially in the beginning, and exploring the conflict between both races, and then eventually later on finding out like it's not what it says it is and what it really is, you know, in the end. And I kind of like where they were going with like the story and stuff, and I'm kind of 50-50 on it. So with that being said, let's get into the bad, because there's a lot of things that I want to mention that I just have to say. So first off, the trailers alone kind of gave it away that it was not gonna be the same typical Marvel movie. And even the directors and the writers involved, especially one writer in particular who actually was doing Tomb Raider, which was a god-awful movie, did this movie. And from that alone, I thought, you know, that was a huge sign that this movie could be bad. She's kind of the contributor to this movie, I would have to say. I don't remember her name, I'll put it right here. But she did the Tomb Raider movie, so I kind of saw the writing on the wall when I saw that. So I knew the writing was going to be messy, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Now, honestly, I wouldn't say this movie is on the level of Iron Man 3 or really bad movies. I thought it was okay for the most part. I didn't think it was awful, like 1 out of 10s that people were putting out there, and I'll get to that, you know, after I give my score. But it wasn't a terrible movie. It was okay for the most part. What I don't like was the twists. So the Skrulls are always villains. I'm not going to spoil anything. And then they make a twist with the Skrulls, which I was like kind of baffled by. But then I was like, okay, I guess that's fine. But, you know, they've always been villains. They've always been the bad guys. But I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on the twist of the movie with that. And then there's another thing where it actually shows you what happens to Nick Fury's eye, how he gets like his eye out. And I was not a fan of that. I thought that was a huge error. I did not like that whatsoever. In the comics, he loses it through a grenade shrapnel during the war. I think it was World War II or something like that. But it was just like something epic like that, and then you twist it to do this twist. Like, that was a really bad troll job, and I did not like that. And then there comes the CGI. So the CGI was really good for the digital de-aging stuff, but everywhere else, you know, with Brie Larson and stuff, it was very bad. Like, I mean, like $150 million, and this CGI just looks, yikes, it's not good. Like, there are some areas where it looks great, and then other areas where, especially when you close up to like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, it's just like, it's not good. Like, it looks really bad. Once you put like a lot of money into a movie like that, like, you expect like some great CGI, but in this movie, you don't. It's like hit or miss. And then there's Brie Larson. So I like Brie Larson. I really do. I like her as Scott Pilgrim versus the World and other roles. I think she's a really good actress. I think she's really good. I'll get to her comments after I give the score, but I really like her. But in this movie, however, I don't like her as Captain Marvel. I really don't see her as Captain Marvel. I like the casting initially. I had faith in this movie, but she just came off as boring and uninteresting for the most part. And I just feel like I wasn't really gotten into her character like that much into this movie. Now there is a twist with her character that I did like, but I feel like they did explore some, what was it? Her past life and her, these flashbacks in the beginning, and I was just confused, and I did not like the editing for those flashbacks and how they were executed. I thought it was very messy. And she was kind of like, didn't know what her powers were. But it isn't until like towards the end that she finds out she has all these powers and releases herself, and then all of a sudden she's like super powerful and knows how to do all of this stuff, knows how to fly and shoot her beams and do all this other crazy shit. She's super strength and everything. And I didn't buy into it. I didn't really buy into it. Like, she didn't really deserve that. And how she got her powers and became like, this other being and stuff like that. I don't buy into it, man. I wasn't like invested like other Marvel films. I just felt like this movie had so many problems and some okay stuff. I like the buddy cop stuff with Samuel Jackson and Brie Larson. I thought it was fine, and I liked where they were going with that. But it was just like, it's so baffling the things they were doing in this movie, and it just felt like also the 90s. It's set in the 90s. But it just felt so forced. Like they played all these songs like, oh, reminiscing the 90s, but it felt like, it didn't feel like you were in the 90s. It just felt like the 2000s and stuff, but it wasn't like you were into it. Like, it just felt so forced. The references and the 90s stuff, it just didn't, I just don't think it worked, like, compared to other films out there. Like, this is just completely forced 90s stuff. So there were some cool sequences here and there. Very sparse, but then there were some baffling editing choices, story elements, and character motivations and characters in general with Brie Larson, who is the main, person you're supposed to root for. The decisions they make with this movie that I just left was like, this is not the worst thing like Iron Man 3, but it was just, it was probably their worst movie in a long time, I would say. It's not a bad movie in my opinion. So I am giving Captain Marvel a... It's not terrible. Go out and see this. Go out and see this for yourself. Don't listen to all the people crying out about this movie. Go see it for yourself. Assess it with your own opinion, and then you can hate it or love it or be in the middle like I am. So... people are like bashing Angry Joe because he gives like, I don't know, it's so fucking stupid. He was like middle of the road, and like people are still like mad with him about it. It's just fucking, people are just so stupid sometimes. And I have to say, like, the people who are bitching about this shit, I gotta get into this shit too, because it's fucking nuts. Are fucking crybabies. Like, this is some bullshit I'm seeing on the internet. Like, so Brie Larson didn't have some smart words during the awards and stuff. So basically, I got what she was saying, but she didn't say it in a right way. That people perceived it as, oh, she's gonna destroy the white man and she hates white people, or white men or something, like some stupid shit. But she's repeatedly said, oh, she doesn't hate white men or anything like that. Like, it's just, she's basically asking for inclusivity. That's all it is. But people are just thinking it's like, oh, she wants to end the white race and all this other stupid, ridiculous nonsense that people like are just going apeshit over. It's fucking ridiculous. It's so fucking easy to see that after you do a little research, you'll be like, okay, you know, that's not too bad. But people are perceiving it as like the worst fucking thing ever, and they hate fucking Brie Larson, and it's just like, it's fucking nothing. I don't agree with her language, but I do get what she's trying to say, and it's pretty easy to see once you actually do your fucking research, which most people can't do nowadays and perceive it as, oh, this is bad, everything's political and all this other stupid shit. Like, fuck off, man. So I think this is nothing. Man babies are just crying out over nothing. It is also kind of weird with the final credits, with one scene, and I hope she's not super overpowered, because I really don't see her as super overpowered and the most powerful character, because she's not. Adam Warlock is more powerful than she is. He can actually fucking wear the gauntlet, so I want to see how Adam Warlock, or if he's ever going to be in the movie, going to be in Avengers Endgame. And like I said before, I don't like how this movie is super close to Avengers Endgame. I don't like how close these Marvel movies are. I really do think should be more spacing, to be honest. You know, Black Panther, Avengers, I think that was like a few months apart, but I still think that was pretty close still. But this is like 1 month, man. 1 month till Avengers Endgame. And I understand people are excited for it, but I just feel like it's a little too much with all these Marvel movies like so close together. Like, just give it some more space. You got plenty of time in between. You know, last year should have been like one movie in November or something, like late in the year, but all of them were bunched in this, late winter and early spring and summer. Like, it's just, come on, give it some more space, please. So I'm excited for Avengers Endgame. This one I'm just kind of, 50-50 on. I think it's okay at best. So please be sure to like this video, comment down below if you've seen Captain Marvel, and subscribe to my channel, Django Fett, and I'll see you, my fellow Mandalorian brothers and sisters, next time. Ooh, yeah!